The lake was supposed to be the safest place in town until a car came flying toward us at full speed.
We thought the worst was over when the car crashed, but that's when a middle-aged African...
Jumping into the water saved our lives. But it didn't stop her from trying to finish what she started.
When the police finally heard her confession,
we realized this wasn't random, it was personal.
In 1942, as London disappeared into enforced darkness during wartime blackouts, a predator learned how to move unseen. The city turned off its lights to protect itself from German bombers. But that same darkness became the perfect cover for something far more intimate and terrifying. Women were attacked inside their own homes and along poorly lit streets, the assaults coming suddenly, violently, and without warning. He struck fast and vanished just as quickly, swallowed by shadows, silence, and fear. Newspapers gave him a name that captured the terror of the time, the Blackout Ripper. A killer who seemed to exist only when the lights went out. If you want the full breakdown of that case, you can hear it on my true crime channel, Saturn Soul, linked below. But long before I ever learned about killers who use darkness as a weapon, I learned something far more personal about how quickly safety can disappear. I grew up in a small Canadian town called North Hatley, tucked away beside the northern shore of Lake Massawippi. It was the kind of place people dreamed of living in. Peaceful, quiet, beautiful, grand summer homes lined the lake, owned by doctors and lawyers from Montreal who came to escape city life. For the first 7 years of my life, it felt like the safest place on earth, a place where nothing truly bad could happen. Then, the day after my 7th birthday, a woman I had never seen before tried to kill me. It was the summer of 1957, and the heat had driven everyone toward the water. Boats dotted the lake, and my friends and I had been spending the day running between the dock behind my house and the front lawn, still dripping wet in our swim trunks. Most of the lakeside houses didn't even have backyards, just docks stretching into the water. But whoever planned the neighborhood decided front lawns were still important. So that's where we played. The narrow lake road ran only a few feet from our yard. Cars usually crawled along it, and in a town that's small, drivers often waved as they passed. Everyone knew everyone, especially the locals. That afternoon, we noticed a car coming toward us that didn't feel familiar. A pale green Dodge Regent. None of us recognized it at first. It rolled along slowly like all the others. Then, as it got closer, the engine began to growl. Louder, faster. Something in me reacted before my brain could. I started backing away from the road, and that instinct may have saved my life. Because without warning, the car lurched off the pavement and surged straight toward us across the grass. We screamed and ran as the Dodge thundered after us. Moving so fast it had to be doing 60 or 70 miles an hour. I could hear it roaring behind us, close enough that I was sure we were about to die. If the driver hadn't been completely blind drunk, she might have hit us. Instead, the car blasted past, missed us by feet, and slammed into a large tree in our neighbor Mr. Finster's yard with a sickening crash at first. We thought it had to be a horrible accident. The car was destroyed, the front end crushed in, and when the driver staggered out, she was covered in blood. When she raised it and pointed it directly at me, my thoughts stopped completely. I remember thinking, with absolute certainty, I'm dead. The first shot exploded so loud it felt like the sky had cracked open. It missed. I didn't even register that fact at first. The sound alone sent me and my friend screaming as we turned and ran toward my house as fast as our legs could carry us. In my mind, I was sure she would keep firing until she hit us dot, but she didn't, because she only had one shell left, instead of firing again. She lowered the shotgun and began stumbling after us across the lawn, dragging herself forward in a broken, drunken scramble. I could hear her behind us, grunting and slipping in the grass. No one was home. My mother and my older sister had gone for a walk earlier, and although they'd told us, none of us had been listening. Looking back, that might have been the only reason we survived. I still don't want to imagine what would have happened if my mother had opened the front door and been met with a shotgun dot as we reached the house and realized the door was locked and empty. Panic set in. The woman was getting closer. There was nowhere left to go except the lake dot, so we ran past the front door, past the house, and straight toward the dock. Every step, I expected another blast. Every second, I expected to feel something tear into my back. But the shot didn't come, not until we leapt off the dock and plunged into the water. That's when I heard it. A muffled, distorted blum above the surface. For a moment, I was convinced she'd hit me. I stayed underwater, heart hammering, lungs burning, terrified to move. I checked my legs, my back. Nothing. No blood, no pain, just fear. Eventually, I had no choice but to surface dot, and when I did, I saw something I'll never forget.